This is my socialization of gender assignment. Socialization means the process by which we learn the norms and ideas of our society. This teaches us the social rules and what is acceptable specifically for men and women. This can be done through the media, such as TV, magazines, or the radio, but it's especially used for a lot of advertisements. We start learning these concepts in early childhood and continue to see them all throughout our lives. So for this assignment, I picked watches because they had a lot of differences between them based on which gender they were designed for. So as you can see, the male's watch, the clock face and band is a lot thicker than the female's band and their clock face to their watch. This is because the men are seen more as with bigger statures. They tend to have bigger faces and facial features as well, whereas women are seen more as the dainty and smaller stature. Um, then if you also see the collars of the watches, the men's has like the blacks and the brown, which are a lot more neutral colors, um, whereas the females is more of a brighter color with the rose gold. This is because women like to stand out a lot more, which also kind of plays in with the jewels on the watch, which is on the band and around the clock face itself. Um, they like to stand out more. The lighter colors are also a lot more feminine, whereas the neutral and darker colors are much more masculine because they're more mysterious and they kind of blend in more because men don't really like to stick out all that much. Um, Another thing to look at as well is the advertisements themselves. So the men's watch is actually advertised with what looks to be the cuff of a suit. Um, Suits are definitely a like mega masculine type of outfit, whereas the female watch is advertised with a ring, so a type of jewelry, and the nail polish, which are much more feminine characteristics. So these are definitely easy to differentiate of which gender we think that they should be advertised for. So some of the changes in watch fashion, this can be over different cultures or even throughout time. Throughout different cultures, though, a lot of Japanese women wear wristwatches facing the inside of their wrists because they think that wearing it on the outside is more masculine. A lot of Indian people also prefer to wear their watches with a lot of jewels because it represents higher status. And this is regardless of whatever gender they are as well. And a lot of their women also wear the bangles on their wrists as well, just to add in a pop of the collar with their bracelets. And then changes throughout time. Um, Women were actually the very first to ever wear wristwatches. Back then, they resembled a lot of what men's watches look like today, with the thicker bands and more neutral colors. This has definitely changed over time because the more feminine, smaller watches came into style in the early 20th century. Um, Even now, we have athletic and smart watches over the last few years that have kind of pushed the boundaries between gender because they have so many different types of band colors and um, interchangeable clock faces as well. And because of these changes across cultures and throughout time, this means that they are a social construction of gender in our society. So my thoughts or my agency on this is that as far as watches, I think some people do challenge gender roles. I personally wear my Apple Watch every day. It's one of the smart watches that I just talked about. The clock face is bigger with a thicker band, which is actually more masculine traits in watches, even though I am considered female. The only feminine qualities of my watch is the rose gold color that I put into it. And that this point, I think that when looking at fashion, it is important to stick with whatever items you personally find appealing yourself without much regard to which gender you think it is intended for, as long as it makes you happy and you enjoy wearing it. And then these are my references. Thank you.